I'm going to do a May update. I still just got a cell phone. I don't have a proper camera. I'm going to start from the crappiest side of the house and just go around. Got all these flowers just planted in the garden bed that runs along the side of the house out to the street. It's been about 100 degrees here in May, which is out of the ordinary, but I don't know if it's going to become a trend. It seems to be getting hotter and hotter every year. These garden beds, this is that Whittlesey compost that I've been complaining about, that it took about 9 months for anything to grow in it. I have discovered that instead of just growing the 4-inch pots and putting them in, like this one right here, came out of a 4-inch pot, if I up pot them to like an 8-inch pot, let them fill that out so that they're big enough to actually hit the ground when I put it in this crappy compost, then the roots will go in the ground and they'll do better. And that's the case with some of this amaranthus that's right in front of me. Those came out of those bigger pots and they seem to be doing alright. But a lot of these flowers, like this one, that's left over from last year and it sprung up again. And I'm just leaving them. I'm going to see if they come up all the way or not. This one right here was also from last year and it seems to be taken off. And I guess it's just a matter of whether the roots touch or if they don't make it through this shitty compost. And that came out of a big pot too. I really like these. They're very colorful. I don't know how long they're going to last in the heat, but they're doing alright so far. I also seeded the grass along the side and the front. I've only got this one strip of grass and it's like maybe 2 feet wide from the sidewalk. All the rest of the grass in the yard's gone and replaced with plants, so that I have more growing space. But I'm really impressed with how that grass looks. If I was a grass type of guy, I can show all my neighbors like, hey, you don't have to spray your grass, you don't have to fertilize it, you just need to put compost and make the soil a little bit better. And let's see over here, more of this crappy compost. The amaranthus over here it's really hit and miss. Those got attacked by pill bugs, they're not doing very good, but like right next door to it, it's doing great. And then I got these calendulas that are all throughout the property now, and they're really pretty. I'll try to get a view from the street of the front yard. I pulled up those limestones when I was digging the beds in the back and figured I'd make them decorative. And that's the layout of the front. If you've seen other videos, it should be familiar. I did a lot of trimming on the crepe myrtles. I tried to get everything off the bottom. You can see I just laid it down. I want a couple of those runners to go because you can see some of these are twisted. That one right there. I think I'm going to saw that off and try to get the center more open. The same over here. It's kind of twisted on the other one, so I'm going to cut that. Here, got the marigold that I up potted. That's really taken off. It's definitely hit root. This one here, it's left over from last year. I don't know what that is. I thought it was a lantana, but over there on the end, that's lantana. So this is not. I don't know what it is. We'll see when it flowers to try to ID it. But a lot of these are left over from last year and they're springing up again. I think the only thing I planted new in here was the marigold, the chamomile in the back, some rosemary. I put herbs on the back row, but everything else is just springing up again from last year. It's May, it should be flowering, but I think we were off to a bad start with all the temperature fluctuations. No more marigold, rosemary, oregano, chamomile. I think that's rosemary. Go into the backyard. Close the gates. Got all those green onions, more calendula, rosemary, oregano in a pot. Mint. The mint keeps dying and coming back and dying and coming back. You can't kill it, but it's not happy with the heat. All these green onions have flowered. And I'm kind of upset because I was hoping that all these flowers would attract some pollinators. Maybe I'd get some seeds and I can do some fresh green onions from seed and try that out. And I have a theory. I'm at war with my back neighbors. They had been spraying for I don't know, 12, 14 days straight. All of April, the neighborhood has been spraying. It seems like people they go to Home Depot and they get Spectracide or Roundup, and there has been so much in the air, like I've had to go back inside. I can't even breathe when I'm working in the yard. This property is only 1/10 of an acre. And as soon as you talk to your neighbors about it, you're like, oh, you're going to kill my plants, you're going to give me cancer, it's bad for you. They just shut you out and they call you a hippie. But I mean, you go to any college, this is what they're teaching now. You need to stop spraying. We're killing the soil. There's microbes there. That's what feeds the plants. The plants feed us. You kill the microbes and you have dead soil. And you can tell if you go to any other piece of dirt where I haven't been amending and haven't been composting, or where it's been sprayed, and you try to dig, it's concrete, it's dead. It's all gray dirt. But if we dig in this, we dig down in there, it's black. 6 inches to a foot down, it's black. And that's what you need. You need the bees. The bees make us food. You kill the bees, we got no food. Anyway, that's that rant. So over here I tried putting them in 5-gallon pots. Got a tomato growing. I trellised it up. It got 3 strings. The limbs actually fell over. I only had the middle strung, so I decided to string the outside. I do indeed have some baby tomatoes coming. I'm very happy about that. At least the bees got to that. Over here I got cowpeas. I think that's more cowpeas. Got some peppers. I got some lemon balm and some chicory. I might actually try some of these chicory leaves. I hear that you can eat them in a salad. They're going to be a little bitter, but I'll try that out and I'll get the root later for coffee. I think these are lima beans. Got some basil that should be happy with the 100 degrees. Still got kale left over from the winter. This might just give up on it and dig it up soon, but this one keeps giving me hope. Like, I'm eating salad off of this every day, even in the 100 degrees. It seems like if it gets a spot that it likes and it gets rooted good, maybe it'll last through the summer. I don't know. More tomato. I don't think there are any tomatoes growing on it. This one is kind of yellowing at the bottom too. I got some fertilizer coming in from Amazon, some organic fertilizer today. I have a feeling they need it. The cucumber, this is the only cucumber in the yard left. Most of them are dying and look much like the top here. They've been attacked by cucumber beetles. They can't take the heat. We also have these leaf miners. Cucumbers are not happy. And I think the bugs attack them because they're not happy. This, I was going to start digging a trench down the back. And I want to prep this area for planting fruit trees, try to get more nitrogen back here. I did a soil test. I got no nitrogen. It was 1 part per million in the soil. So this is kind of, I'm growing like cover crop previously. Got some hairy vetch, Australian winter pea. It's all died off from the heat. But I was going to dig a trench and try to prep that for doing trees in the fall. But I have pumpkins going from the compost pile that was here. And these seem to be pretty happy growing out of the compost, so I don't know if I'm going to mess with it or just leave it. We'll see. I'm not super excited about pumpkins, but you know, take what you can get. Over here we got contender beans, and they look like they're still on their way out, but they haven't given up. Got some ladybug friends there eating the aphids. Don't need any spray, just let the ladybugs go to work. Got a good amount of green beans on these. I'm going to try to save them all for seed. I'm not too sure when you nab them. I'm assuming you wait for the plant to dry up and keel over and then you grab them. So try that. Oregano. As you can see, there's like things are growing. It's green. They're flowering. Just don't have that much that's edible because no pollinators. They all got killed off. When 285 houses spray every day, you got no pollinators left. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 bees in May, a few butterflies in the beginning of April, end of March. I had just swarms of bees all over these flowers. And they're all gone. Let's see, got more stuff to replace the old with. Some various squash that was given to me from someone on a group on Facebook. Got sweet potato, then I'm going to try to get those. That'll be first time I did sweet potato. I think I'm going to take those off and put them in the front and see if they grow. And then I've got the Malabar spinach, which I will replace dead cucumbers with. Here, you would think this is bad. You would say, oh no, all your potatoes are dead. But from what I'm reading, this is just what they do when they're ready to harvest. So I think I'm pulling a bunch of potatoes out of the ground soon. We'll see how many I get. I'm hopeful that there's quite a bit because I can see them poking out of the ground. Like right here, you can see that red potato poking out of the ground. I have a feeling there's quite a few. They might be tiny, but we'll see. I planted a lot. I try to stuff a lot more into this space because everything seems to stay alive right here. It seems to like this spot. And it didn't mind that I made it more dense. In fact, I would say this lettuce right here in the 100 degrees is happy that it's getting a little shade from its friends. That one's definitely bolted. Some garlic, fig tree. That fig tree is done as much growth already in a couple months compared to what we had all year last year. I guess that's what happens when you get roots. In this hole, there's a hole there. I don't know if you can see it. It's where a frog lives, or toad. And he comes out and he eats the bugs once in a while for me. So I'm able to put some water out for him. Here I'm making this is the 6-foot trellis. I planted a hyacinth bean all along that. Try to get some nitrogen, and I think it'll also be really pretty when it climbs this wall. It's supposed to be a purple flowering vine, and they're supposed to really love the heat, so we will see how that does. Put some grass on there. I mowed my cooperative neighbors from the front yards. I got 3 that are cooperative that don't spray. And in return, I went and mowed their lawns, and I took all their grass clippings and I'm going to turn it into mulch. As long as there's no weed with seed heads or any of the grass has gone to seed, use it as mulch. Some more chicory. Could probably harvest that. This cucumber was dead, but it's coming back. It looks like it has outlasted the cucumber beetles, but I bet you the squash vine borers are going to come and get it here in a little bit. Any kind of squash just does not do well. There's another cucumber. It was on its way out and it's trying to come back. These I haven't even watered for 2 months. I have no idea how there's any green leaves left. I'm leaving it for the caterpillars. And it's still here. It's amazing. Lemon balm, more green onion, sage over there, lavender. Blackberries are definitely coming up. You can see the blackberry clusters are forming. Gonna have lots of blackberries. Let's see, on this row we got more tomato. These aren't yellowing as much. Flowers I don't remember the name of. Ancho peppers, chili peppers, cayenne peppers, chili peppers. I think all the peppers are chili peppers. And there we got okra, and we've got, what was the other? I think this is more cowpeas. Okra on the back, cowpeas on the front. The sun is very bright. I'm trying to video this with a cell phone. It's not very good with the bright sun. Over here, I thought this was dead. It has finally come back. I guess you have to wait until it hits 90 for that to come back, and that's going to be a big flowering yellow bush. And pumpkins over here that don't look very good because there's no nitrogen, there's tons of limestone. You can see when I dug this up, this is what's under the soil. And I've pulled the big chunks out. That's what I use to line all the flower beds over there in the back. It's all the limestone I pulled out while digging this. And you can see there's so much in there. I don't know if I can turn this into something usable or not, but there's more pumpkin from the compost. And the pumpkin is growing just randomly. And you can also tell that the drainage really sucks. That's still sitting there, stagnant water from rain. I think it's been 4 days, and that hasn't gone down at all. So I really need to get some more organic matter mixed into the soil here. There's just no drainage. But plans are continue digging this trench turn it into a bed that looks much like this one, see if we can get anything growing in it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the back row. Dig another trench. I might put something that grows quick in summer and then try to put fruit trees in there in the back. And over here we got our cage. We got more tomato. We had cucumber. All the cucumber is dead, much like all the cucumber in the rest of the yard. But we've definitely got tomatoes coming up. And baby tomatoes. And it's fine with me if that cucumber dies. It's going to make room for these tomato roots. And I think the tomatoes are going to need all the roots that they can get. Yeah, you can see all the cucumber. It's just completely withered up. I don't really know why this one died. It was thriving and then just overnight just went kaput. It might have a squash vine borer. I don't see any entrance points. But you know, just let it die. It's fine. I think this is some marigold in between, and the tomato and the marigold are just kind of intermixing. And I even have some oregano tucked in back. And along the side of the house, got more random pumpkins coming up everywhere from the compost. Lemon balm, more green onion, more mint. This side of the house is the east side of the house. So there's definitely more shade here. Things don't grow as quick, but they don't die either. Got more amaranthus, more mint, more green onions. I need to put some kind of mulch. I think I went a little bit too far away from the house. I think we could mulch these a little bit and hold more moisture. And as you can see, I am completely out of space. I think I've used every square inch of this yard to plant something, or it's in the process of being dug up so I can plant something. But hopefully in the fall, although we didn't get much food in the summer, we might from those hyacinth beans, might get some from the Malabar spinach. I think both of those are going to do good. We're definitely going to get some peppers. But overall, didn't get too much this summer, not yet. I don't think we're going to get much for the upcoming summer. And we'll see what comes in for fall. I think we're going to do a lot better now that we did all the double digging of the beds. Keep on mixing in all the organic matter I can get my hands on. I keep on getting wood chips from the city of Round Rock. $50 for 5 yards, they come drop it off. That does so much better than the $1,000 from Whittlesea for the compost. So we'll keep at it and we'll see what happens. Alright, we'll see you next time.